What's up, soldiers? Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. I'm working on a stewed lentil, all kind of niceness going on here. It is all about meat-free or meatless Monday. You're gonna love this one, boys. Stay tuned. Quick, simple, and so tasty. Ay, ay, ay. I've got my pan, my pot here, something with a lid that has a lid on a medium flame, and I'm going to go in with about a tablespoon of olive oil. If you prefer to use coconut oil or any sort of vegetable oil, that is cool. And I've got here a large shallot. I'm just going to turn my heat down to low because I don't want this to burn. I want this to sort of sweat. And I've got here 3 cloves of garlic, roughly just smashed actually. Later on, and the reason why I like doing it like that, and you can certainly do it differently, I like the sweet pieces of garlic you get after in the stew. If you wanted to crush it, you can certainly do that. Heat down on low. Go in with some black pepper. If you guys haven't seen the video yet on YouTube, here, the last recipe chit chat, we're giving away a couple of these electric pepper mills there. I'm just going to let that gently go for about 3 minutes. I don't want anything to burn, so very low. I'm going to turn my heat down. Next up, I'm going to go in with 2 scallions that I gave a rough chop to. And I've got about 1 cup of cubed pumpkin. If you got butternut squash, you can use that. Any sort of squash or pumpkin you have on hand or like using, you can certainly use it. If you don't have pumpkin and you want to go in with a couple carrots, you can certainly do that. Here I have some scotch bonnet pepper to give it a bit of a kick. You can leave that out, it's totally up to you. Just going to give that a quick stir just to soften things up a little bit. And the whole idea here is to get this done under half an hour. Nobody in trying to be on this stove for too long, you know what I mean? After about a minute, we're going to go in with 1 can of stewed tomatoes. Yes, you heard me right, stewed tomato, and I think this one has bell peppers, green bell peppers, and celery in there. Totally different than anything you would see, well, recipe coming out of the Caribbean when it comes to lentils. But I came up with this recipe a few weeks ago. Your boy was jonesing for some lentils, and I'm going to go in with 1 can of lentils. And it's, you know, normally I'd say don't use that liquid and stuff like that, but this time we need that liquid. I'm going to crank up the heat. I came up with this recipe, jonesing for lentils, a couple weeks ago. And I was quite impressed by how the recipe came together. Next up, we're going to go in with some parsley. And if you have Caribbean green seasoning and you want to go in with some of that, you can certainly do that. I've got here 1 bay leaf. Totally different than how my mom would typically make lentils. But again, the whole idea is something quick. I've got here some vegetable broth or vegetable stock, some Caribbean browning. And that's going to give it a nice color and some sort of caramel notes. And because I know that tomato will have a sort of a sourness or tartness to it, I'm going to go in with a bit of brown sugar. I'm also going to go in here with a bit of salt, but later on I will taste it and adjust it accordingly, because I know typically with canned vegetables and peas and stuff like that, it's usually packed in a lot of sodium. So I ain't trying to risk screwing up this dish by over salting it at this point. Give it a quick stir, and you really want to bring that up to a boil and then let that simmer for 20 minutes. So in under half an hour, you've got a wicked soup. Now here's the thing, not soup, stewed lentils. What I did was I used it first as a side dish for rice. The second day I used some for breakfast with my toast. And the rest I heated up later in the day as soup. So, you know, it's very versatile. The other thing is you can double up on this recipe and freeze whatever you have left back. It heats up. Yo, awesome. You can tell it's starting to come up to a boil now. We've got those bubbles happening there. So I'm going to turn it down to medium. A couple flavor ingredients you can add in here additionally are Some ginger, some grated ginger will be nice in there, as well as some fresh thyme. I'm clean out of fresh thyme at the moment, so I man really can't rock that. And you know, I'm not a huge fan of dried thyme. I've been spoiled that way. Getting access to all that niceness here in Canada is, yo, it spoils my brother, you know. Lid slightly ajar because we want it to breathe most of that steam to get out, because we want it to thicken up while it softens up that the pumpkin. So 20-25 minutes, taste it for salt, yo, and you're done, man. Niceness happening there. It's been about 25 minutes since it's come up to a boil. You can taste it here for salt, adjust it accordingly, and the thing is the pumpkin should be tender at this point. If you wanted, you can go in with a potato masher or using the back of a spoon and just mash them up a bit. I like it whole to retain some of its texture there. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com, meat free or meatless Monday. I do hope you guys give this one a try. Don't get tied up with the lack of protein. Meat in there. We got protein in those beans, man, those lentils. A sort of my take on, well, a different take on stewed lentils. Remember to join us on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern for recipe chit chat. We answer questions, we have discussions, and we do giveaways. Like I said, this week we're giving away 2 of those pepper mills, so check it out, man. Always a pleasure. My little baby is here. We've got cookbooks, guys. WestIndianFoodCompany.com. Get your copy today.